to get it
Okay.
get it working. So today, I believe we're gonna have them both there, Big John. How's that?
Well,
It's gonna be up live from the Funderdome.
Tell you what, since we're almost ready to start, let's just announce that when we get going because
Yeah,
Rocky Farrell wanted to
yeah.
watch it.
Piece of cake, man.
You know,
We'll see what
if
we
you got cake, I'm down.
Huh? I've got muffins, man.
Excellent
Banana.
muffin.
How about a banana nut muffin?
Actually, I just had one of those power bars that Shirley eats.
Oh.
Can't you tell by how powerful I look?
You well, you do look powerful.
Yes. I got a busy day. I got to go
Yeah, I
to the
saw
nursing home for like shortly after here, and then they'll show me my room, and then I have to. Then I got to play with Strawberry Hill tonight. I'm playing with the Hill.
How'd you get involved with that, man? With those guys?
I've known them for
Forever?
years. Yeah, hold on. Let me turn my phone down.
Yeah, no problem.
Hold on.
No problem.
We'll be talking to this one.
Yeah, let me pull that one down for you there. And it bends and
He's
does
gonna
all
try
that
and
too.
YouTube
Sure, it's
straight
powered,
too.
so if you get it, just kind of get it pointed towards your face.
That's close enough.
Okay. There you go. We'll
Live
move it
stream.
around like that. All right. Okay. About a foot away from you and point it at your mouth. How's that? There you go. We'll be good.
We almost ready.
Yeah. We got time.
Turn
We'll
this-
play another one here and then we get going. That okay?
Yeah. You do whatever you want. Thanks for letting us come in today.
Oh, you know what? I lost track of how quick this was coming.
No.
I mean,
Not
seriously.
me.
I saw the flyer. I said, okay, first Saturday in March. I saw March 4th, and I'm thinking, okay, we still got a couple weeks. And then I looked at the calendar, and I mean, that's a week from tomorrow.
I got a lot of time perspective lately because, we didn't think we'd be in our house until like mid-June.
Yeah,
They're talking like 2 months from now.
really.
Yeah. They're really moving,
Well, they've had a good winter.
Well, they at the beginning stage they did, yeah. And then they've had the only reason they don't have more siding up is we've got red siding trim and then gray for the primary dark
Yeah,
gray,
okay.
and they didn't get that gray stuff in yet.
Okay.
See, with Rick Smalls, there wasn't time enough to bring a guitar in.
Oh, okay. Well, we got time, man. How's that?
Hell yeah.
We got plenty of time. We got a whole hour. I got an ONN news to play at 20.
You do what you want to do.
So we'll get that one. I got a couple courses to play here and there, but past that, I think I want to get into get back into Terry. I've never had Terry with us here in the studio, so I'm going to get a little perspective from your side, man.
Terry.
Going back to Davey and how you guys line up, how you lined up with this one recruiter over here.
Okay. Yeah.
You know? I mean, it had to be a jail experience.
No,
Right?
not this
Meet
one.
there at the county lockup.
I owned the bar, the center stage. I owned center. I didn't own it, but I managed it. I ran it. Yeah. All back in the late '80s.
I heard a lot about it.
Early
That was
90s.
before I got here in '97. So that's all before me. But I heard an awful lot about that. I don't know how many musicians around here that told me about center stage
Yeah.
and what was happening down there back in the day.
No, it was
Yeah.
busiest place in.
It really was,
area.
and you know what? It was a little. Now I won't walk in there now because it's just a
Right.
little too violent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, there's somebody that's making a living off that violence, so
Yeah.
that's the way they want to play it.
Yeah.
Oh, oh, that place. I played a lot of gigs there. Can't even count them. I mean,
That was the place to be, though.
oh yeah, pretty much.
Pretty
Yeah,
much it.
they're really.
Around this area, was that?
Yeah, that
spot?
was the
That
venue.
Defiance, the Route 66.
Okay,
Yeah.
which was
That's what is that now? What is it's
That's
that place?
It's that place.
It's that place right out by just north of the bridge, on 66.
Okay.
It was a sports bar and stuff like that, and it's you know, what do they
It
call
might still
that?
be a
Yeah.
sports bar
Yeah.
now.
That's where that dude killed himself, or is it? There was a time when I was coming up here. In fact, I was in there. We'll let that go for another day. But yeah, it's just over the open bridge area, or just
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
your right.
Yeah.
And at that stoplight.
Yeah.
That
Champs
place, it
or
was a
something
big
like
ass
that.
Champs,
parking
or
lot.
it's something
Yeah,
like Champs or something like.
that.
Big
Yeah.
old parking lot.
I know,
But
yeah. And
I
they- 'cause
remember-
they had that backstage. Is that where everybody played on in that back room there?
Well,
Or-
yeah, years ago, and when it first opened, it was just the big room and then the front.
Right.
There we go, guys.
All right. Morning.
Doobie Brothers here on the Q 96.5 FM, and as we were chatting off mic here a minute ago, and with me right now is John Reichley.
Hey,
Hi, John.
how are you, buddy?
Good, man. And Terry McGames. Terry,
Hello.
good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, you too. Good
Good
morning.
to have you in here. Let's move your mic a little bit closer to you there, Terry. And
All right.
Everybody, the first part of doing this thing here today is to get all the levels where they need to be. I'm the audio guy, and the unfortunate thing is I can't pre-mix before you get here. So,
Yeah.
you know, we turn it on, we sound a little fuzzy here or there, or overmodulated, and then we work it from there. How's that?
I'll back
we'll,
up.
We'll make it work.
You guys know how it is. You're sound guys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm not a very sound man, but I've been known to run sound as a man. You know.
Hey, anybody that's out there right now, we wanted to make this announcement now. We're trying to stream this live with video here up on it's up on YouTube at Live from the Funderdome. Live from the Funderdome, Funderdome. So we've done that in the past, and today we're going to try to do it again. We've got a few problems with our gear here recently, but I think maybe we've got it worked out. Maybe we don't. So it's a crapshoot at this point in time. If somebody wants to listen and they're out of the area, tell them to go up on the TuneIn app. Tune in when you'll find WQCT 1520. It's still under the AM nomenclature up there, but 1520 AM WQCT, and you can listen on TuneIn anywhere you're at right now. So past that, we got the politics out of the way, and it's good to have you two guys here. We're talking Davy Farrell, and guys, I can't even imagine it, but Terry, it's coming up a week from tomorrow, bud.
It
Yes.
sure is. It just jumps at you. And this will be our 5th year at it. We're going to do the benefit for the Path Academy for Autism. Great school for kids.
Yeah.
Very popular choice. People have reacted to that very, very well this year. Bonnie, she's the leader of the pack over there. She's very well known, got her name out there, and it's going to be a very good event. I can see it already. It's just building right up.
It's got to be kind of tough to put something like that on, John. I mean, you've had to put in a couple of hours to make this all happen, I would think.
Oh, it's kind of incalculable at this point. We can't remember how many hours we put in on it. You know, not just when we're meeting together, but when we separately. You know, Terry does a ton of legwork. I do the legwork as far as the band and scheduling end of it, and other things too. And then even my wife Shirley does quite a bit, and of course Elmer Baker. And we're just really on this. Actually, you know, they say like with the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade that they literally are planning the next one when they're sending the floats down the street for the one they're doing.
Yeah.
Basically, it's kind of like that with this. We kind of kick around ideas early on afterwards. We give ourselves about a month to decompress, and then we start to think about what we want to do. The biggest decision really is to figure out who the benefactor is going to be. And what we've done is, you know, at first, when we did the first two, of course, it benefited Davey himself, you know, with the struggles he was having. But then when we continued this on in his name, we find it challenging to pick charities that we think most people will get behind, and we didn't want to center it to one charity. So we've had a number of benefactors over the years. This year we went with the Path Academy because, you know, autism is really an issue, you know, more than ever. And oh, by the way, I want to say real quick, we're doing this for the Path Academy for Autism, which benefits locally, certainly, but it's kind of odd timing because the day after on Sunday up in Maumee, Ohio, they're having what they call Acoustic for Autism, which is a big, huge day in is it Maumee or Perrysburg? But where it's nothing but acoustic acts all day long.
Oh,
and
wow.
and and a gal named Nicole Curry is behind that, and she's spearheads that, and it's a huge day, and it's I'll narrow the town down. I think it's Maumee. Yeah, it's Maumee for sure.
Okay.
And
Okay.
like it starts early in the morning. Actually, I think it starts in the evening before the morning, and then there's a big tent outside, and then all of the a lot of the taverns up and down the street feature acts. There's like dozens of acts all day long. And I went there last year just to check it out. And by the time we got there, it was so busy. We stayed about an hour and there was no walking room. But like I say, a lot of people are doing a lot of things for the cause of autism.
Well, there's an awful lot of folks around here. We all know people that have autism. We hang out with them on a regular basis around this area. I don't know exactly what's going on, but it is one of those diseases or one of those conditions, I guess you ought to call it, that sure does need some research, and somebody needs to figure out what's going on, because it seems like every year that percentage rate of people with autism continues to go up, Terry.
Yeah, they got some true minds working with them there at the Path Academy here in town. I mean, some people with degrees in this kind of stuff and knows exactly how to, work with those things. And that's what it takes to, because I have a nephew who has autism.
Okay.
And he's a good kid, but you can see if his medication isn't quite right, things happen, and that's, it just takes a strong hand to guide him down the right path, which is great.
Yeah.
To be all he can be, so he can grow up and be just fine,
Yeah.
Use his younger years to get this out of his way.
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing down there. Very nice school. It's really nice here in downtown Bryan,
Yeah.
right down the
They're
square.
also making an effort to teach some life skills too.
Yeah.
Which is so important, because when you have a condition like autism, or, if you're mentally challenged, learning to live out in the world is, probably more important than anything else you're going to learn.
Yeah.
And so they're set up to help with that.
And you know what? Most of these folks that we're talking about can live on their own, can be part of the society with the kind of guidance that they do get. Now, did you guys have several folks? Do you go out and ask for suggestions as to maybe who the good benefactor would be this year, or do you just get together as a group and pick one?
Every year, right after shortly after the 4th of March, like he said, we'll take a few weeks off and let everybody have a little breath, because right now we're meeting week after week after week to get this things tied up and ready to go. So we'll start talking about it, and what we'll start with is a list, all of us and our extended family as well. I mean, there's 3 of us on the panel, but there's a bunch of us, dozens of us out there helping us get this thing done every year. And we'll all start putting out names. We like to keep it fairly local.
Sure.
We had 4 county last year, but that we've figured that Williams County is involved, and it was nice to get our name out and into the surrounding areas.
Sure.
So then we'll kind of cut it down to a couple. What about these guys? What about those guys? And within a matter of a week or two, we got the one we think's the best. We'll call them up and see if they're prepared, and because there's a little bit required on their end too, because it's a lot, and we've had some great benefactors over the years with these guys at the Path. Bonnie and her team are some great people. Got a lot of energy, got a lot of spunk. We had the 4 county benevolent society last year. They take care of tuitions, donations for kids at the Fort County School.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
And they gave away tuition for somebody who went to college and then somebody who went on, Fort County, that's what it's about.
Yeah.
Learn how to work. They gave a tuition to some kid who didn't go to college to pay for his expenses to just do the work. Year before that, we had, it would be,
It was
Cancer
Cancer Assistance of
Assistance.
Williams County.
yeah,
Okay,
giving out the money for them. And before that, Sarah's house.
right.
And the original one, under the Davy Farrell blanket, was the Williams County
Home
Hospice.
hospice, yes.
Yeah.
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 Which, that was our very first one we did in Davy's name because, home hospice was very involved in Davy's life towards the end.
Sure.
So,
Sure.
so, he, it's, we try and pick a local charity. We try and mix it up a bit, because, if we just did it for one cause every year, I think there's so many causes locally that probably need the assistance, need the boost. And, that way, nobody feels slighted, And our only restriction is since we're a nonprofit, and a recognized IRS type nonprofit, we have to do it for other nonprofit organizations. It's like we can't do it for like somebody like a family that's had a house fire or something like that. Sure. That's a whole other thing I would do, But so we just kind of start shopping around for charities and see who's interested, and that's kind of a dicey thing too, because when you reach out to somebody, say we're maybe going to do this for you or maybe not, and then you don't want to get people's hopes up. But eventually we get down to one decision and one outfit, and it usually works out great. And like Terry said, some of the people we've had all of them have been so great. They provide people to work the day of the benefit. Sure. Because there's a lot more than just putting on a bunch of bands. There's things that have to be done, 50-50 tickets to be sold. We've got prizes we raffle off here and there. So, there's a lot to do, not only leading up to the day, but during the day is certainly a labor-intensive thing.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt about that. All right, guys, no matter how much we want to talk about where the money's going, there's a reason why it all got started. Okay.
Right.
And I think that's the one thing that I didn't make last year. I made the year before. But I think that's the thing that I've always enjoyed about going into that room, because even though it's been, 3 years now, okay, am I right with that? Has Davey been gone now 3?
It's
a little over?
It's been 5.
Has it been 5?
It's actually been.
Okay, because I thought we
Just before the first band.
Okay, I thought he was able to be around for the first one or two.
No,
and then
well,
we lost.
his own, yeah.
Yeah.
See, what happened is we helped him with his cancer. He had a very rare stomach cancer.
Yeah.
And they put together 2 benefits for him.
Okay.
Exclusively for him,
Before
without
we
the
lost it.
without the
That's what I'm
nonprofit.
forgetting about that. I
Yeah.
guess that's where I'm intertwining this.
And after the second one of those, both of those were really good
Yeah.
events. I mean, they raised a lot of money for both of those events, and it really helped him battle off that thing. But sooner or later, it's a very expensive battle, and it's a very painful battle.
Yeah.
Cancer is not a good guy, and it took him the year after his April after his second personal one, and he had sent us a letter asking us if we could just maybe do this for somebody in the future, somebody else that needed our help, and at that point he was planning on being with us.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, God took him home
Yeah.
just before that. And so we decided at his benefit of life,
Right.
on his passing, that by golly, we were going to do that for him. We were going to make that nonprofit organization in his name to remember Davy Farrell.
Yeah.
And our mission statement is the raising funds and awareness for worthy causes in remembrance of our dear friend, an IRS-approved nonprofit organization. That's
There you go.
what the Davy Farrell Memorial Project is.
That's amazing. Terry, how did you? I know how John got around Davy. How did you first meet Davy in your life?
Well, I've been around this town for a long time myself. I'm not a musician, but I've coddled these musicians for a lot of years, so I know a lot of them.
Did you bring my blanket with you?
But shortly out of high school, I started working at the center stage. It was actually about, that place has gone through 100 names in 100 days. But when I was actually there a lot, I managed the center stage bar, which now Bentley's downtown.
Yep.
And we had bands and we had all kinds of live entertainment. And we were really busy over there. And I got to know all these guys, including Davey and Reichley. And, they actually took me in as a friend, besides just the guy that booked him at the band at the bar.
Yeah.
And we've been together.
I bet it's been 20 years.
Oh, more than that,
I
probably
bet
30.
it's been more than like 30 years.
20, yeah, more like 30.
Yeah, 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're starting to get to be old guys, John. I'm getting reminded of that a lot today because it's my birthday. So everything I'm getting in here today is like, can't imagine you made it another year, old time.
Happy birthday.
Thanks.
And I got to say that Jim Holbrook's birthday tribute to you on Facebook was especially heinous.
So I've been living through that all day long. So those
I'll have to check that out.
extra
I haven't
10
seen
years,
that yet.
That extra 10 years, I understand that's kind of slid under a bridge somewhere for me too at the same time. But yeah.
Well, yeah, and I look back. I have a lot of photographic and recorded evidence of those days where we first met, and my God, we were good-looking guys.
So, kind of.
And
then time.
I have a picture of me and Elmer Baker standing at the center stage in front of the guitars all lined up.
Right.
It's just like somebody took a picture of us standing there. This was like 1985. Then I have a picture of us around St. Patrick's Day where we're wearing like St. Patrick antenna and stuff like that. And geez, I just got to say that Elmer's aged horribly. Me, on the other hand,
Yeah, you've done well. You still look like you're 35.
which gives you an idea how bad I was when I was 35. By the way, I'm sorry I've been eating a banana nut muffin on the air here.
That's okay. No problem whatsoever.
Oh, if my mother was alive.
Yeah, she would have.
I can't believe you ate on the air. What's wrong with you? This is why we can't have nice things.
Exactly. Well, I'll tell you what, guys. It's about 23 after the hour. We need to step away for ONN News. When we come back, this is an event with music, and Mr. Reichley has brought a couple of instruments with him. So I think in our next segment, in addition to talking a little more about the Davy Farrell event coming up a week from Saturday at the Moose, we need a little music in here, don't you think, Terry?
I can live with that.
I brought my bassoon. No, I didn't.
That's even better. All right, 23 past 11, you're in touch with the Q. I've got John Reichley and Terry McDaniel with me today, and we're going to talk Davy Farrell Memorial Project. I got a mic that's eating me up here, man. I don't know whether it's this one. No, it just did. I think maybe you tapped it or something happened to me. It's there right here. It's disconnected somehow. I think. And it's killing this thing. Yeah, I got something doing it. Maybe it's not me. Oh. It was my good friend at the church. We got a remote. They do a church service on Sunday. Somebody just turned on the Marty unit at the church.
Oh,
That's what that was.
good.
Holy crap! And I had that channel up.
That ain't good.
No, well,
Throw my banana nut corpse away. Oh boy. Yeah, that thing it's coming right around the corner, literally. Ugh. You know, which is fine. Everything's
To actually repeal and replace Obamacare. T-Bear says he's been meeting with constituents in more intimate
Okay,
settings.
we got it
He
all.
says if people would
We've
like to
had
speak
Mike's
with
on
him,
and
they
everything
can
else
schedule
going
an
on here, man.
appointment through his website.
I wonder if the stream is working.
I don't know.
You leave that on while we're on vacation. While we're on vacation, while we're on commercial break.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, really?
Disrupted.
Hey.
And police in South Columbus say they have shot and killed a man who pointed a gun at them. I'm Mike Hawkins on the Ohio News Network.
Things better now.
In just 10 minutes.
Good.
That was
So
driving
you
me
won't
crazy.
lose everything if you get sued. Step 1.
So
stop
noisy
putting
in
it off.
here.
If you're not incorporated in some
What's that?
It's so noisy.
Oh man, it was like, holy crap, where'd all this come from?
Everything. Your home, your car, even your life savings. Step 2. Call the following number for a free 10-minute incorporation guide from Incorporate.com. 1-800-914-2967. They don't provide legal or financial advice. They just make incorporating quick and easy. So you can incorporate or form an LLC in just 10 minutes. That number again is 1-800-914-2967. Step 3. Congratulate yourself. By taking just 10 minutes to incorporate your business or form an LLC, you protected your home, your car, and your life savings.
All right, here we go,
And
guys.
that is how you incorporate your business in just 10 minutes. But hurry while they're still giving away these 10-minute incorporation guides for free. Call 1-800-914-2967.
All right, for anybody who's out there and may have just gotten all kinds of shocked or whatever, I don't know what exactly happened. I knew exactly what happened. We have a church service on Sunday that comes in over a channel that we leave up all the time, and somebody turned their Marty unit on, and then past that, whatever I did after that, leaving mics on or turning mics off or doing whatever, it's all part of being live radio, right, guys?
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
that's
right.
God watching over this rightly, fella.
I get a little too comfortable in here. I have to self edit at all times.
So we had an experience, a live radio experience, I think, a few minutes ago, and that brought us all back into reality here. I think we're okay. All right, Johnny, I'll tell you what. What do you want to play first here, buddy?
Well, let's see. I'm gonna see if the ukulele's working. By the way, my friend Tina May says she's gonna give me heck for smacking my lips on the mic in here while I was eating a banana nut muffin.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, she just sent me a message.
There you
saying,
go.
See, so it's like my mother's still alive. Yeah, that's a scary thing. All right, I think I've done this in here before, and this is one I'm going to do at the nursing home at 2:00 over in Edgerton, because they like the old stuff, and that's why they like me over there.
Yeah,
because
right.
This is an old song from a musical called Summertime. Here we go. Summertime, and the living is easy. Fish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Your daddy's rich, and your mama's good looking. So hush, pretty baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings, you're gonna rise up singing. Then you'll spread your wings and take to the sky. But until that morning, baby, nothing can harm you. With mama and daddy standing by. One of these mornings, you're gonna wake up singing. Then you'll spread your wings and take to the sky. But until that morning, nothing can harm you. With Mama and Daddy standing by. So hush, pretty baby, don't you cry.
I didn't realize that was a Zeppelin song.
Well, it was at the end. It was at the end, you know. Yeah, sometimes you just got to stuff stuff in there.
Yeah,
you know?
Jimmy Page write that? Is that how it...
No, he did not. No, he did not. And you notice I've got the Prince emblem on the back of my
Ooh, I'm loving it,
ukulele.
man.
I mean,
I'm
what the
loving it.
heck? What the heck?
Tommy Reed just stopped in with us too, and Tommy, he'll be at the Davy Farrell event, I'm sure, with a cocktail in his hand and ready to go next Saturday.
Oh, there's no drinking allowed.
Well, then he won't be there. You just
No.
lost him entirely.
There's plenty of drinking
He's a
allowed.
member of the Moose, man. He's a moose. He's a moose. He's do you have? Can you show us the international sign? And get slip Terry the handshake maybe on your way out or something.
I don't know. That's not
Nobody's
to the handshake.
nobody's ever taught me the secret handshake. You
At the
know?
Moose?
At the Moose or the
That's because they make
Eagles.
it up every time they do it.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bunch of high fiving and blah. I'm not doing it.
Okay, that didn't sound like much fun. I don't want to know that one anyway.
No.
Guys, let's talk about this event. Next week it starts at 11 o'clock at the Moose. And looking down the list of bands, let's talk about how they came about and a little bit about them. You got the Dave Lyles Band, the Holbrook Brothers, Magnum, Venus Spanking Mars, Dangerous Cliff, Reikley's Acoustic Warriors, Liberty Rose, What Doin', and Earl P. and the Family Tree. Start at the top, guys. Dave Lyles, I think that name's pretty familiar.
Yeah, Dave Lyles Band they've been with our event. I think this is the third or fourth time now. Probably the fourth time.
Fourth time.
They come up from Lima, Ohio. They are just a terrific country rock, blues type band. They're just everybody in the band is just terrific. Dave Lyles is probably one of the best guitar players I know personally. He's just a monster on the guitar. And just watching him is, even if you're a non-musician, just watching him play the guitar will wake you right up. And they agreed to come down, I believe, to the second memorial event we had, and they've been with us ever since. And we try and get them in early because we want to make sure they are open to play another gig. And while I'm at it here, I'm going to find my schedule here, but I'm going to give the times for every band today that we talk about, because a lot of times, and I'm starting to do that this week on Facebook, where I'm listing the bands or doing a little promo of the bands and listing the time. But the time for Dave Lyles Band will be from 1:20 to 2:20 in the afternoon.
Okay.
And how we do this is we get 9 acts on and off in that 12 hours, but it's a clockwork thing that we seem to have down. Where everybody plays an hour, there's 20 minutes breakdown time, and then the next band plays an hour. There's a lot of things we do in advance to make sure that's going to work.
Yep.
But
as long as you can get 9 bands to behave themselves, all in the same day, you're good to go.
Yeah, and the nice thing is I know most of these people, you know, on a personal or semi-personal basis, so they kind of know what to expect, you know. And hey, the ones that don't, they learn what to expect real quick, you know. So the next now, I want to say too, every year there's certain bands we have year after year we try to that have been with us almost from the beginning. Like some of these bands were here when Davey was alive, you know. We always include them in. But the Holbrook Brothers is certainly one of them. Because the Holbrook Brothers weren't with us from day one with Davey, but Jim had the band what were they called? Was it Northern Lights or
Northern Lights,
one of those? What was the other one? Mumbo Jumbo
Jumbo,
whatever. I think it was Northern Lights, and they were at the very first one. And I think that's when John Spencer was maybe playing with him, or I don't know who. But anyway, Jim has been with us from minute one. So every year we try and have the Holbrook Brothers band, and they are just a terrific band. I mean, and every year what they do is they work up a whole new set just for this event. They try and plug it with all new music or new to them music. Okay. And then that helps them because that's songs they can play in their regular gigs that they do around, you know. I believe this year there's been a little change in the guard because I believe Trevor Lawson is playing drums with them at the event. I think he's stepping in as new drummer, and of course I'd like to tell you what to expect out of the Holbrook Brothers band and what they're going to play this year. But to be honest with you, I have no idea what they have up.
Expect it to be great.
Expect it to be great, and they will be on from 9:20 to 10:20 in the evening.
Okay.
And last year, the year before and last year, they slammed it home. I mean, you know, they were scary good. Yeah. Now, Magnum. Now, this band, it's like with the Holbrook Brothers. The Magnum band has been with us from day one, but Jerry Lucas from the Magnum band, who is their guitarist, and another one of the best guitar players that I know personally. And I've known him since he was 15, and I was like about 24. And trust me, I was not a good influence on a teenager at all, especially a guitar-playing teenager. But he's been with us from the beginning. I think the first benefit we ever did for Davey, I'm thinking his band, the Bone Daddies, played at that. And then he had the band, what was the other band he had? I'm having a senior moment. Hypnotic Vibe. They played for 2 or 3 of them.
With Wise.
Oh, yeah. With Wise, not Hypnotic. It's with the spelling has to have the Y's in there. Hypnotic like naughty, and then Vibe. But that band, they kind of went their separate ways, some of them. And now what he's done is he's semi-reformed the Magnum band, which is a band he was in when I met him as a teenager. And I think there's Mark Hancock's in the band on bass, Jerry's on the guitar, and Doug Stainer's on the drums. Those are original members. They fill that out with Jeff Keegan on the vocals, and Jerry's nephew, Spencer Gould, who is just a staggeringly good guitarist also. Okay. And it's in your face, it's twin guitar, it's big amps, it's hardcore, and it's stuff I love. Yeah. And I love all of those guys. And the Magnum band will be on, oh man, I'm getting lost here. You know these hand devices that they make you use? Yeah. Okay, Magnum will be on from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock straight up. And 8 to 9 p.m. 8 to 9 p.m. New to our event this year is a band from over by Defiance, Venus Spanking Mars. And they have quite a reputation over by the Defiance area and outward from there. I don't think they've done a lot of playing over this way, and that's going to all change here on Saturday the 4th because they are going to be with us. And they feature 2 guitars. And it's Wayne and Skip play guitars, and they've got their drummer is I believe his name is Jeff, and then the bass player. God, why am I having so many senior moments? So Chuck Frank, who I've known for years. Okay. Their vocalist is a lady named Jen, and Jen is just let's just say she's right out there. She's she when you see Jen, and I don't mean that in a bad way. When you see Jen, you'll understand she was made to front a band. I mean, and she does it with relish, and I think people will be very, very interested in this, and when they come away, they'll be like, I need to see more of that band. And she's a lot of the force behind the band as far as booking and stuff like that.
You can tell it by the Facebook page. I've been up on their Facebook page before. She's I think a tall blonde.
Very tall.
Yeah.
Very tall
like,
girl.
Yeah, it looks
probably
like
kick my butt.
Yeah. Well, and I'm always, women have always scared me, Terry. So it's always yes, ma'am, no, ma'am coming out of my mouth.
Oh, believe me, she's gonna get a lot of yes ma'am, no ma'am out of me after I'm done yelling at her and telling her where she has to be and what to. No, I might want to just kind of back up, but they'll be on from 6:40 to 7:40, and I can't wait to see them at our event, because their show, I mean, they do your normal 3-4 hour bar show, but the nice thing about this event is, bands can really put their best hour forward. I'm not saying some bands only have an hour's worth of good stuff, but they can put on the stuff that they're really confident about.
Right.
And that's why I urge the bands to get there as early as they can to see the other acts, because I do remember one year, and this was kind of unusual. One year, I think it was 2 benefits ago, we ended up, there were 3 bands played Pride and Joy by Stevie Ray Vaughan. And normally that doesn't happen, but it did. And I don't know if anybody noticed, but as stage manager and talent wrangler, I sure did. And one of the bands I played in was one of them that played Pride and Joy. But then there were 2 other bands that played it. So, but anyway, let's move on.
What time? Now, what time was the?
6:40 to 7:40.
6:40 to 7.
Yeah.
I'm writing them down so I can remind people next week as we go to. For anybody just tuning in, you're in the Father John's music hour here on a Friday. Normally we do live music from Father John's. They have it 6 to 9 on Thursday night there, and they have a happy hour every night from 5 o'clock until 7. But today they were gracious enough to give us this hour so that we could bring John Reichley and Terry McDaniel in here to talk about what's coming up with Davey Farrell next week.
Yeah, maybe sometime soon I can work a Thursday in up there, and I don't know, you might have to ride the dropout button, while you're playing my show live, because I tend to go places.
We edit.
Oh, I bet you do.
Yeah. Censor.
Oh no censor. We just edit.
I'd censor.
How's
I'd
that?
censor.
All right, now the next band, Dangerous Cliff. Now that's the band that I have in various incarnations with Kevin Maynard mostly. We're kind of the 2 guys that are have been with it since the beginning. This year we'll be joined by Scott Pollock on the drums.
Oh, good.
A fantastic drummer, and he's actually done at least 1 gig with Venus Spanking Mars substituting.
Okay.
And it's like, here's what seems to happen. Bands like Venus Spanking Mars, and there's other bands too that do this. They tend to need, if they need a drummer to step in, it's either Chuck Mock or Scott Pollock get the call, because those are 2 guys that can just walk in cold and do a gig.
Yeah.
And
that's what helps with the lineups very well too. We have one set of drums that everybody uses, so they.
Oh, that makes it.
Yeah.
And I know as a guitar player, if somebody said, "Well, you're going to have to use this guitar to play." Well, I'll be honest with you. If it was them asking me, I'd say, fine, okay, let me see the guitar.
Sure.
Okay, but some guys, I got to have my own stuff or else. Well, I'm careful to pick bands that aren't going to put that demand on me for the drums. Sure. Because, and actually last year, an good old friend of mine tried to pull that on me. He showed up and he walked in, he goes, "Can I bring my own kid in?" And I'm like, "Absolutely not." Well, I'm like, "No, we got 20 minutes, and it's not so much setting up a new set of drums, we got to take the other set of drums somewhere else.
Yeah.
So everybody
And then bring them back
then bring
again.
bring them back.
again.
So what I do is I just tell people, look, we've got a really nice drum set we provide. Add anything you want to it of your own stuff, but don't plan on taking anything down.
Yeah.
And everything works out great. So, and by the way, Doug Stainer from the Magnum Band has agreed to let all the players use his drums this year. And listen, you don't understand. Drummers, well, I'm sure you do understand. That is such a physical act, and certain drummers are kind of light at it, and certain drummers act like they're building the railroad. And so what I do is I encourage them, bring your own snare drum if you would, because I don't want you to put. But
All right, so
Dangerous Cliff.
So what time? What time?
That's going to be. Oh God. Dangerous Cliff will be on from. Having a little trouble reading here, you know. It's
Yeah.
5:20 to 6:20.
5:20 to 6:20.
Yes.
And you had Dave Lyles. I didn't put down at that time. It was like one. That was a 1 in the afternoon.
That's 1:20 to 2:20.
1:20 to 2:20.
And
Okay.
I'll and Dangerous Cliff, it'll be nice to see those guys again and play with them again.
Yeah.
Considering the first note of music we're going to play together will be that first note of music at the benefit, because we don't get together and rehearse that act. Yeah. We've been together so long that we just,
It doesn't have to.
to a degree, to a degree, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of me turning around going, "We're gonna do this song now." Oh, really? Oh.
Or he'll start a song and everybody's supposed to guess what they're playing next. He does a lot of that too, but they're very ready. They're ready to. That's why my cough dropped. They're ready to go with it.
Well,
Pretty much.
A Vulcan mind meld between those guys.
Yeah.
Basically. There's a little more to it than what we're talking
Yeah,
about.
it's a lot of dirty looks from my end, And,
Okay.
now, Reichley's Acoustic Warriors.
Yeah.
What this is I used to just open this from the first day we ever did this when Davey was alive. I used to open with an acoustic set. I'd sit there with my acoustic and to do whatever, and I did that for years. And then last year I decided to break it up a little, and I decided I would do like 2 or 3, and then I would have other acoustic performers come in and perform during the set. And last year I made it an hour to do that. I managed to stuff in quite a few people, besides myself. This year normally we start the music at noon. This year I'm starting it at 11:30, just because I've got enough acoustic performers that really want to do this, that I'm going to try and fit everybody in. And I figured extending it out would be a good idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the thing probably 11:30 with a couple, maybe 3 songs. And then I'm going to have Ezra Miller's going to play at least 2 or 3. He's new to our event this year, and a very, very talented kid. I mean, and just a nice kid, yeah. And he does Father John's occasionally.
He does, yeah.
And we're also going to have Jim Weber, who is a longtime musician from this general area. And originally I knew him as a drummer many, 40 years ago. I don't think he's touched the drums for a long time. He has a solo and duo acoustic act he does, and he's agreed to come and perform at our benefit. So he'll be doing 2 or 3. We're gonna have Jackie D and Casey. They're going to perform. They have a duo. They play at the open night at the Eagles here and there, and they played with us last year, and they did a nice little wonderful set, and they'll of course do 2 or 3. We also have the Galbraith Clan. Okay. Now the Galbraith Clan, I caught them. I play at the Wasion Farmers Market several times over the summer, and sometimes it's just me playing the music. Sometimes they'll have another act. I was finishing my set one day and somebody said, "Listen, there's going to be this family that plays after you." I said, "Oh, really? Do they need my stuff?" And they go, "No, they're bringing their own." And it's 2 adult daughters and their father. And I think the father and the one daughter play guitars, and they just have wonderful 3-part family harmonies. They do stuff like Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B, and their Christmas carols are to die for. Oh, wow. To die for. And, they just they do the Unknown Soldier song. They're just. I remember when I was watching them the first time. I was sitting with the wife and the mother of the girls, and I just leaned over to her. I go, they just have a wonderful act. And she goes, family is good. And, she is right about that. And, there's something about a family harmonizing that's like nothing else. I know that from my mom and my 3 aunts, because they would sit around the kitchen table after a few shots and start harmonizing and like old songs. And my God, 4 sisters locked in singing. There's nothing like that. So it's just wonderful what the Galbraith clan does. Dave Raker is also going to do a couple with me at the acoustic set, and of course he's a longtime vocalist, probably one of the best vocalists around this area. Played with me in several bands. Played in Just Kiddin' with me. Played in I think he was in No Such Band. He was in, Davy's last band, Deja Blue. That was the band. Yeah. He recorded the CD with them. Just a wonderful, pure voice. And he's going to get up and sing a couple with me during the acoustic set. And he will certainly be doing 2 or 3 with Dangerous Cliff too, because me and him and Mike Cleveland played in No Such Band together. Yeah. So that's pretty much what I'm stuffing into the Acoustic Warriors set.
That's going to go from about 11:30 till when?
11:30 to 1.
1 o'clock.
11:30 to 1.
And another note, from 11 to 2, we'll have our special $2 off the ticket price. Okay. Normally tickets are $10 a piece, and you'll get $2 off from 11 to 12, and for a couple, it's normally $18. Those will be $16. Oh. So we're giving a couple dollar discount to those that get there early to hear the good stuff early on. And
those are wristbands, so they're good all day, right?
Exactly. Yeah, you buy once, get in free. The rest of the day, you're prepaid, I guess we should say.
That's a wonderful thing. I mean, seriously, save a couple of bucks, get out there early.
Yeah.
Even if you just want to catch an act or two, because it's kind of hard to be there all the way from 11 o'clock in the morning until.
It is. It's a long day. Let me know. Let me tell you.
Yeah, you guys would know.
Oh yes, we would.
The Moose closes at what time? 1? 1-ish?
1-ish.
Yeah, somewhere in that ballpark. So you're going from 11 o'clock till 1-ish, okay?
We're going from 10:30.
And you're there a lot earlier.
And Friday night setup night.
We're there Friday night.
Yeah, heck, you got a lot of stuff.
It's a long,
By the way,
you get done at the end of the whole thing, and you just go.
Yeah. But
with a beer.
Exactly. and I'll tell you what, I think probably most of the time that's a good.
It is.
At that point in time,
in
a lot of different ways.
It is. By the way, I need to make an on-air correction. The drummer from Venus Spanking Mars is Todd Huff.
Sorry, Todd.
Sorry, Todd.
If you're listening, I don't know if you're listening or not. And if Jen's listening, then I'm going to probably get my ears boxed.
Yeah, that's probably a possibility.
Oh yeah, I'll take my lumps. I'll take my lumps.
You got a guitar in your hand, man. Can you play one more song? And I'll tell you what, can you hang out for an extra 5 or 10 minutes after the hour? Is that possible?
Yeah.
I want to get through all these bands.
Because I do want to talk about the other bands. We have, let's
do that right now. Let's talk about the other bands.
Oh, you want to do that real quick?
Go out with a song. How's that?
Okay.
Sound? Okay.
The next band. Oh, wait a minute. I thought I turned this phone down.
Somebody's calling you.
You know who it is? It's Jimmy Holbrook.
Yeah, he's going to give you hell about something you said too.
No, we haven't forgot anything. Anyway.
Hey, you tuned in at Q96.5 FM. If you just tuned in, we're in the Father John's Music Hour, which is always 11 o'clock until noon here on Friday. Don't forget they've got live music every Thursday night from 6 o'clock until 9, and happy hours every night from 5 to 7. And we have John Reichley and Terry McDaniel with us today, and we're talking Davy Farrell Memorial Project, which is a concert is next week at the Moose, next Saturday. Yeah.
Well, let me kind of peel through the last 3 bands.
Let's get through. We still have Liberty Rose, What Doin', and Earl P. and the Family Tree.
Well, Liberty Rose. Mm-hmm. Liberty Rose will be performing a little earlier from 2:40 to 3:40. Liberty Rose, oops, boy, I'm breaking things in here. Liberty Rose, okay, now I know you've had Tina May in here.
Yeah.
And of course her talent is without question. Well, I'll question it, but not. But anyway, and Tina and I actually had a music act, probably
She had
7, 8.
an act.
She had an act, and I just kind of stood there.
Right there.
But anyway, we had an act together for a while, about 7, 8 years ago, and now her brother John is she's a musical family anyway. She comes from, but her brother John is a really wonderful guitarist and wonderful guy, and he has a band called Liberty Rose. It's their niece Jen, and him, and their drummer is Paul Burrows. And their bass player is, it'll come to me here. But anyway, they have an act together, and they do everything from old country to modern country to rock and roll. And anyway, they're just great. They play. In fact, they're playing at the Eagles this Saturday in Bryan, so you might want to get out there and catch them. And I'm sure Tina will be making an appearance with them during their set. You know,
That's good, man.
Yes.
She is one of the best singers,
Oh,
female
she's-
singers that I've been around.
She is a
wonderful voice.
really great vocalist and a nice enough person. Anyway, let me keep going. What Doin' will be playing this year. What Doin' is new to our event, and listen, be prepared, because this is a loud, young, brash act, and they play what I would consider a mix of kind of punk, metal, plastic, wood. They're in your face. They're on the stick, and they will own that stage, and they will own you, whether you want to be owned or not. And they're playing from, I believe, I've got them on from 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock.
Okay.
And, then last on the list here, but certainly not least, every year we have Earl P. and the Family Tree close the show up.
Yep.
And they, for some reason that's a tradition, and they keep telling me, if you want to put us on earlier, you can. I'm like, nah, I just kind of like that part of the tradition. And anybody from here knows Earl P. and the Family Tree and knows what they're about. And, they're just a fantastic show band, and just have a lot going on in the music department. Dana Dancer is their guitarist, their lead guitarist, one of my favorite guitarists, by the way. So that's our lineup for this year, and they'll be playing from what is it, 11? I think 11.
11 o'clock. Doors open at 11.
Yeah,
you wanted to get started early this year.
They'll be playing from 10:40 to 11:40.
10:40 to 11:40.
That way, that leaves that 20 minutes to midnight if they want to go a little longer, or if we've had somebody go a little long. Yeah. And believe me, sometimes that event has gone a little past midnight, but we just want to make sure we got 9 hours of music for everybody, and we're going to have it this year. We got a nice mix of new to our event talent, plus some of the old guard, and we're just looking forward to doing this with everybody, And listen, what makes this work? The bands make it work. The planning committee makes it work, but what really makes this work and makes this successful is you people who show up and donate and buy raffle tickets, buy 50/50 tickets, and just donate out of the goodness of your heart. Yeah. One year we gave away $500, and
in raffle tickets.
50/50, and this guy came up. We handed him. He goes, let me open the envelope. And he opens the envelope. There were 5 $100 bills in there. He gave us 3 of the $100 bills back.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget that guy. And I asked him, why did you do that? And he said,
Special.
And he said, well, he goes, I've been here all day. He goes, buying tickets, spending money. He goes, I figured I spent about $200. So I got my money back for the party day, and the rest of it's gravy. And I thought, well, we'll be putting that gravy on our potatoes.
All right, one last time, guys. The Davy Farrar Memorial Project, and we'll talk about it next week. It's next Saturday at the Moose, 11 o'clock until kind of midnight-ish.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah, there's 50/50 tickets. There's all kinds of raffles going to go on, and all the money, Terry, goes where?
To the Path Academy for Autism here in Bryan, Ohio.
Yeah. Terry McDaniels has been our guest along with John Reichley. And guys, as always, it's wonderful to see you. Don't be the last time in here, okay, Terry? Please come back.
Sure.
John, as always, you've got an open invitation. You're part of the house band here. At the
Yeah, in
Funderdome.
fact,
How's
I kind of crashed Jim Holbrook's last interview.
that? That's always a good thing. Any way that you can take a little time out of Jim Holbrook, you've done the God's work.
No, the thing is though, I didn't take any time. I sat here unannounced and just played along with him. And then everybody's like, "Listen, Holbrook, man, his guitar skills have really ramped up, and it sounds like two guys singing."
He's got one of those double guitars, man. He's playing that, and he's doing everything all by himself.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, guys, as always, great. We'll let John take us out of here. On the top of the hour, we'll have a little ag news and some CBS news.
See you all next Saturday.
You bet. Thanks, Terry.
Well, it started out down a dirty road. Started out all alone. And the sun went down across that hill. And the town lit up. And the world stood still. I'm learning to fly, but I ain't got wings. Coming down might be the hardest thing. Well, the good old days might not return. And the rocks might melt, and the sea will burn. Well, I'm learning to fly, but I ain't got wings. Coming down, that's the hardest thing. Well, I'm learning to fly around the clouds. What goes up must come down.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, that's right.
That's you, man. That fits you.
Where's that Johnson at?
Mr. Full of shit. Right into the agri.
Hey. Well, listen, I'll be spreading on a field near you. Do you have the lanyards ready?
Most of them. I had to redo half of them.
With an average yield of
Okay.
170.7 bushel per acre. That's down from last
Okay.
year's record of
So, but I've got
174.6.
Magnum, I've got
USDA
yours.
projects corn acreage
I
at
got-
90
I don't have
million
any for-
planted
I got
acres,
10
down 4 million
for you.
from a year ago.
Yeah.
Now,
You need
despite
to send me that
USDA's
list, too.
soybean planted
Oh, the how many you need?
No, the final